The debate over whether Australia should keep the British monarchy or become a republic has been simmering for decades. But in recent years, the push for Australia to sever its ties with the Crown has gained momentum. Just a few weeks ago, King Charles was heckled in Canberra by a member of the Australian Senate, and his whole visit to Australia was marked by tension and, at times, hostility. The question of Australia's relationship with the monarchy is more than just a symbolic issue. It speaks to deeper questions about national identity, independence, and Australia's place in the world. For many Australians, the monarchy represents an outdated institution that is out of step with the country's modern values, while others see it as a cherished part of Australia's heritage and a symbol of stability. One of the key reasons many Australians want to get rid of the monarchy is the growing sense that Australia should stand as a fully independent nation. Although Australia gained formal independence from Britain in 1901 with the formation of the Commonwealth of Australia, the country has retained the British monarch as its head of state. Queen Elizabeth II and now King Charles III hold a largely ceremonial role in Australia's political system. But for many Australians, this connection to the British monarchy is an anachronism in a country that is proud of its diverse and multicultural society. The idea that Australia should be a republic, with an Australian head of state, has been gaining traction for decades. In 1999, a national referendum was held on the issue of whether Australia should become a republic. However, the proposal was narrowly defeated, with just under 55% of Australians voting to keep the monarchy. The defeat of the Republican movement at that time was largely due to divisions over how a republic should be structured. Some proponents of a republic wanted the president to be chosen by a direct vote of the people, while others preferred that the president be appointed by Parliament. This lack of consensus led to the failure of the referendum, but the desire for an Australian republic has not gone away. Another factor driving the Republican movement is the question of national identity. Australia is a young and vibrant nation, with a diverse population that includes people from all corners of the globe. For many Australians, the monarchy is seen as a relic of the country's colonial past, a reminder of a time when Australia was a British outpost rather than a fully sovereign nation. As Australia continues to evolve and forge its own path on the world stage, the idea of having a foreign monarch as the country's head of state seems increasingly out of place. The issue of Australia's national identity is also tied to the country's changing demographics. In the past, Australia was predominantly a white Anglo-Saxon society, with strong cultural and political ties to Britain. However, in recent decades, Australia has become one of the most multicultural countries in the world, with large immigrant communities from Asia, the Middle East, and other regions. As Australia's population becomes more diverse, the idea of maintaining a monarchy that is deeply rooted in British history and tradition seems increasingly alien to many Australians. In addition to questions of national identity, there is also a growing sense that the monarchy is out of step with Australia's democratic values. Australia is a democratic country where citizens have the right to choose their political leaders through free and fair elections. However, the monarchy is an unelected institution, with the head of state being determined by birth rather than merit. For many Australians, this is incompatible with the country's democratic principles. The idea that a foreign, unelected monarch should hold the highest office in the land is seen as undemocratic and out of touch with modern Australian values. The debate over the monarchy has also been fueled by concerns about the relevance of the royal family to modern Australia. While members of the royal family, such as Queen Elizabeth II and Prince William, have enjoyed considerable popularity in Australia, there is a sense that the monarchy is becoming increasingly disconnected from the lives of ordinary Australians. King Charles III, in particular, has not generated the same level of enthusiasm as his mother, and his ascension to the throne has reignited calls for Australia to become a republic. Many Australians feel that the royal family, with its lavish lifestyle and centuries-old traditions, is out of touch with the realities of life in 21st century Australia. Moreover, the younger generation of Australians is increasingly indifferent or even hostile to the monarchy. Polls have shown that support for the monarchy is strongest among older Australians, while younger people are more likely to favor a republic. This generational divide suggests that the monarchy's days in Australia may be numbered, as younger Australians push for a break from the past and a move toward a more modern and inclusive political system. The role of Indigenous Australians in the debate over the monarchy is another important factor. For many Indigenous Australians, the British monarchy represents a painful symbol of colonialism and oppression. When British settlers arrived in Australia in 1788, they claimed the land as part of the British Empire, with little regard for the indigenous peoples who had lived there for tens of thousands of years. The legacy of colonization has had devastating effects on indigenous Australians, who continue to face discrimination and disadvantage. For many, the monarchy is a reminder of this painful history, and the push for a republic is seen as a way to assert Australia's independence and break from its colonial past. Despite the growing momentum for a republic, there are still many Australians who support the monarchy. For some, the monarchy is a source of stability and continuity in an ever-changing world. The British royal family has a long and storied history, and for many Australians, it represents a connection to a shared heritage and tradition. The monarchy is also seen as an apolitical institution that rises above the partisan politics of the day, providing a sense of unity and national pride. There are also practical considerations that have kept Australia from becoming a republic. Changing the country's political system would require a significant overhaul of the constitution, and there is still disagreement over how a republic should be structured. Should the president be directly elected by the people, or should they be appointed by parliament? These are important questions that have yet to be resolved, and until there is a clear consensus on the issue, the monarchy is likely to remain in place. So, the debate over the monarchy in Australia is far from settled. While there is growing support for the idea of a republic, particularly among younger Australians, the monarchy still has a strong base of support. The question of whether Australia should become a republic is about more than just the role of the royal family. It is a reflection of deeper questions about national identity, independence, and democracy. As Australia continues to evolve as a nation, the push for a republic is likely to intensify. But for now, the monarchy remains a central part of Australian life.